Hello. So, I can't get this one idea for a video game out of my brain. So there was a game that I liked like ages ago called Marble Madness. Um, I don't even remember playing it all that much, but I remember enjoying it somewhat. And I haven't seen one like a remake of it or even um, like a clone of it ever since. So I'm making one. And since I've been making one, I've come across a couple that, you know, I've even come across one on Steam, but it was like, yeah, I'm making this and we're going to put an early access and like charge $10 and like never work on it a day after. So it was like an early access and then charge people $10 for it and then abandoned it. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. What I will do is my plan is to give away the base game for free, and it will include 10 or so small levels, and then I will sell like packs of levels um, with increasing difficulty and uh, increasing features, complexity, whatever you want to call it, new things that cause weird stuff. That makes the game harder or more fun. Not necessarily both. So what I've got so far, and this took me a ridiculous amount of time, is the basic controls: forward, back, left, and right. This took an amazing amount of time. Okay, so my first plan was to not have any controls for the body for the ball, and I kid you not, tilt the entire world. And I got all that working. Unfortunately, whenever you tilt the world in the other direction, like the tick for the physics isn't necessarily very quick. Um, so you'd end up you could rotate the world faster than the body could handle, and it would cause the ball to just shoot up into the air at the slightest of tilting. So, that just wasn't going to work. So, and yes, this is me controlling this live. I'm just playing with it just to show you, you know, how it works. Doop, 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 wolf off the edge. Uh, and this was a pretty good, like, default stage that, I don't even know. I don't even know how this came up as a default map. Like, it was just there. Like, it's the first time I've ever seen this one as the default. But, but it's just spinning. Like, I don't know how to make it stop. Don't know how to make it stop. Don't know how to make it stop. It will just continue spinning out of control. Um, but I will. Oops, fell off. The thing is, I mean, with a game like this, it's so simple and easy to make. You don't even need, complex graphics or anything like that. It's just a quick little game that you can play. The plan is to put it on the mobile app, so you can just like rotate your phone and control it that way. Um, Seems like it would be a fun little game. Maybe charge like a couple bucks or so for 20, 30 levels, something like that. I don't know. It'd be something cheap. Depends on how long it takes me to make the different maps. But just getting the basic control, like Unreal Engine is just not made um, to have control systems not for characters. So here is the setup that I use to control it. And project settings, input. So I have forward, backwards, right, and left under action mappings. I tried using it under axis mappings, but it had very peculiar behavior. So I had to put it under axis mappings. And these should be editable in settings. I should be able to have a setting in here to where people can change these to whatever. Then, so it takes the left, the right, forward, and backward input actions, goes to a retriggerable delay. If you have it just add torque to it, it would only happen once per key press, so you'd have to keep pressing it over and over, which is very irritating. So after doing some research, this is the best way I could figure out that would didn't require event tick, which I don't like using event tick unless I absolutely have to. So this checks to see if any of the keys are continued to be pressed down. If none of them are being pressed down, it just ends. If they are being pressed down, it adds torque in the direction of the key press that you want to go in the direction, because if you want to go backwards, and the camera always stays facing the same direction. I think I'm going to make that like part of the game, is the camera's always facing the same direction. I'll just design the maps around that. So if a torque is a variable that needs to be multiplied, and this way you can change one variable that affects all directions. If the direction the key press is forward, it'll multiply by 1. If it's false, it'll multiply by -1 if the other direction is pressed. Well, because I'm doing both X and Y at the same time, I have to have a 0 setting in case both of these are false. I do the same thing with the other direction. What else? Because this was a real pain to get working. Let's see, input. I don't know if this is necessary, but at some point I added this in as checked. And this has to be auto-possessed player. I have it set to play 0. And there was simulate physics has to be on the mesh. So the ball is a pawn with a spherical mesh with a spring arm and a camera. Now, how do I make the camera not spin around like a crazy cat? So inherit pitch, yaw, and roll. Uncheck all these in the camera settings on the spring arm. I don't even think they're on the camera itself. It's on the spring arm. That way you can keep the same distance and the same orientation no matter what direction the ball is going. Trying to think, was there anything else? Because there was a bunch of stuff I had tried. And I use add torque as my on the actor by class. Actually, this is the component by class, which is a static mesh component of the pawn that I got from the player state. I don't know why all this, but yeah. For this to work, you have to have that auto possess on the pawn. And that is quite literally as far as I got. This took me like 6 or 8 hours just to get just to get a couple things going. just to get the character to be able to move. Granted, a large portion of that was trying to get the entire world to move. um, oh yeah, so the to get the entire world to move, I had a blueprint called Cornerstone, and it's movable. But the thing is, to attach the stationary things to the movable blueprint, like it just flat out wouldn't allow it. So what I had to do is change this to static, then put these up under it um, as like an attachment, and then set it back to mobile. Yeah. So then the entire world would rotate around the cornerstone, which is always in the center. It worked, but the physics of it, like, the physics would work uh, if the physics were ran in real time, but it's not ran in real time. It's done on a tick basis. And the ticks are apparently too slow to run it. Um, it thinks that when you're moving it, that you're like hitting it with a baseball bat. Because once you get the further away you get, the it doesn't rotate around the player, it rotates around the center. So the further away it goes, the faster it moves when you rotate linearly. So it's like it is like hitting it like a baseball bat. Peanut butter jelly and a baseball bat? Is that how it goes? But I think with the first level, what I'll do is just have this little ramp here, and then have in the middle a little hole that says exit here, and I think that'll be a good first level. So it's like mini golf where you control the ball. Okay, I had so much fun with stuff like this because it doesn't control like a player character. Like I'm sitting there pressing right and it just slows down and then goes, which is strangely satisfying. And that's not distracting at all, though. But the plan is to eventually put this in a hamster ball and have a hamster inside. But that's it.